Awakening to who we are, that is, awakening to our true nature.
Welcome! Today we discuss the idea that spiritual awakening is simpler than you've heard. By the way, we are joined by Elias Stasinas, who has experienced self-realization and also had a deep Kundalini experience. Elias, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to share my experience and knowledge about spiritual awakening.
Let's start with the basics. Elias, help us understand from your experience, what is the core of non-duality?
At its heart, non-duality points to a simple yet profound truth. We are what we seek. The peace, happiness, and fulfillment we seek is our true nature. However, we often miss this truth because we look for happiness externally in people, places, and things.
This is somewhat unconventional, but it sure is exciting. Can you explain why we tend to look for happiness externally in people, places, and things?
Yes, it is because we have been conditioned by society to believe that happiness is found in external achievements, possessions, and relationships. We are told that we will be happy when we graduate with a degree, buy our dream car, or win the lottery. This conditioning creates a perpetual outward focus, distracting us from our true nature.
So, is it like running away from ourselves when we meet our true selves?
Exactly. We are always busy with vacations, friends, cars, houses, money, and pleasures. It's a constant pursuit of happiness, but what we're really doing is running away from ourselves. The irony is that the treasure we seek is already within us.
This is a truth we all live by. But if our true nature is always available, why is it so difficult for most people to recognize it?
There are two reasons. First, our habitual tendency to seek fulfillment externally creates a constant distraction. We are so busy chasing pleasures and experiences that we never stop to recognize who we are. That is, to stop and recognize the peace and happiness that we are. We run like crazy, not knowing what we want. Second, when we sometimes feel our true self and our true nature, it becomes disturbing to our egoic self. That is, for our ego that is constantly looking for happiness in places, things, and people. Our egoistic mind, accustomed to seeking, striving, and suffering, may feel threatened by the simplicity and completeness of our true nature, so it quickly redirects our attention outward.
This is really interesting. So how can one stop this vicious cycle?
Awakening is really something simple, but it requires a 100% commitment to the truth. Not a commitment to my truth or someone else's truth, but a commitment to the truth itself. It involves seeing through the illusory nature of concepts and thoughts, using ideas as tools, but never expecting concepts, ideas, and thoughts to give you the absolute truth. Often we think that awakening requires becoming a monk or spending years meditating or even renouncing the world. But what if it's more about recognizing what already exists, what we already are? How about learning that awakening is the natural state of being? That is, the knowledge that we exist, the awareness of our consciousness.
Can you give our viewers some practical advice on how to start this process?
It is true. Meditation is a tool, but it is the only and right tool to reach self-realization. Start by meditating every morning. Stop for a few moments at least a few times a day and notice the futility of your ego's constant running. Leave all your ideas, concepts, and beliefs behind.
This is kind of challenging but beautiful. What changes can people expect as they move down this path?
When awakening is realized, there is a profound transition from pain and suffering to peace. Life flows beautifully without violence towards yourself and others. You realize that anything that is going to happen in the future is not going to make you more complete. You are already perfect as you are right now. This is a revolutionary and radical change from how most people see themselves and the world. Are there any pitfalls we should be aware of to be careful of? The main trap is to get caught up in concepts about awakening. Awakening is beyond miraculous and can only be seen clearly when you leave all your ideas and concepts behind. Don't try to figure it out mentally. That will only make you suffer. It's about shedding the extra heavy baggage you're carrying and resting as you are in who you are, not the character you think you are. Also, keep in mind that meditation and awareness are tools, not goals. They help calm the mind, allowing us to feel our inherent unity. But the key is to recognize that this unity is always present. The self we seek is here, waiting to be recognized. If you watch all the videos on my channel, you will realize that you are not who you think you are. These teachings remind us that awakening is not somewhere else. It's not in some distant future. It is here, now, in the very essence of our being. We just have to discover it. The simplicity of non-duality lies in its immediacy. No complicated rituals or doctrines needed. Just a simple, deep recognition of our interconnectedness with all that exists. You don't have to renounce the world, go to the holy mountain, or to a cave in Tibet. You just need to embrace the world as it is, but with a new perspective. Once we understand this, life becomes less effort and more existence. We find peace in the present moment, understanding that everything is as it should be without the need to change anything. It is truly a liberating realization.
This all sounds incredibly liberating. But I have to ask, why isn't everyone doing this if it's so simple and beneficial?
This is indeed a grand question. Our daily lives are full of distractions and labels. We identify with our roles, achievements, and possessions. However, these are only temporary aspects of our experience, not our true essence. The truth is that our culture has created consumerism, which keeps people stuck in what I call the matrix. Society caters to our ego and wants us to believe in money, fame, and pleasure. It is much easier to manipulate people into consumers if they are constantly looking outside of themselves for fulfillment. When we speak of awakening, we indicate a state beyond these labels. It is to see through the veil of our hypnotized self.
This disappoints me. So, in essence, is our consumer culture antithetical to this path of awakening?
In many ways, yes, but the truth is always near you, always inside you. The truth is you, yourself. The kingdom of God is within you. Yes, there is nothing to be gained from the ego. In fact, the ego must be exposed and made known for your true self to shine. But the peace and happiness you have been searching for all your life has always been within you.
I agree, but still, people have to work for a living and perform their duties.
Yes, we are not going to neglect our duties or stop working. However, we will do what we have to do, no less, no more than what we have to say or do. First, we will seek to realize ourselves, and all these things will be added to us. We have to plan and execute our tasks, but we don't have to worry about success, people, and things. These things will come naturally.
Elias, do you have any happy stories about your spiritual self-realization and Kundalini experience that might help our viewers connect with this process?
Well, there was one time early in my spiritual quest. After 2 or 3 times I started meditating, I had a Kundalini experience that lasted for months. Then, I thought that if I meditated more, I would become more enlightened. I was so determined to find more enlightenment that I spent an entire weekend sitting in a meditative position, barely breathing. I thought that if I sat quietly enough in this posture, I would suddenly become more enlightened and be in a state of bliss forever. By Sunday night, all I had achieved was numb feet and a rumbling stomach. It took me a while to realize that awakening is not about forcing anything on anyone. Enlightenment by Kundalini experience happens to some, but it is not necessary to have this experience for awakening or self-realization. It is more about relaxing into what is already there, that is, into the awareness of our consciousness. Sometimes we can get so serious about spirituality that we forget to poke fun at ourselves. Elias, this was an incredibly insightful discussion. As we wrap up, do you have any advice for our viewers? I would say this: don't complicate the awakening. It's simple. Fall in love with silence and stillness and meditation. Stop looking for happiness or enlightenment somewhere in the future or in people, places, and things. Be completely honest and committed to the truth that you are already perfect right now. The diamond necklace you are looking for is around your neck. The treasure you dream of finding is you within you. So take some time today to stop, breathe, and notice. Notice the seamless flow of existence. You are already part of it. Awakening is simple because it's about being who you really are. There is a beautiful saying from a wise man that I think about often. This sage said, "Your own self-realization is the greatest service you can render to the world." I find this profound because it reminds us that awakening is not a selfish end. When we recognize our true nature, it naturally overflows into all our interactions and relationships, benefiting everyone around us.
Elias, thanks for sharing these ideas with us today. Thank you for staying with us. If you found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Continue the discussion in the comments. Let's support each other on this beautiful journey of awakening.
Created by Elias Stasinos. Until next time, be well.